Thank you so much, TrustCon, for giving me the opportunity here, okay? And I'm thanking to every industry fellow colleague of mine to be here. A lot of us are present and we generally keep meeting in the market. I'll quickly take you through certain data pointers, which will, my colleagues have already done a lot about use cases, about how industry is being operating, okay? But when we're talking about the customer experience, okay, how can we make that customer experience truly inspirational, okay? We talk about exceptional in the market, but is the exceptional stuff going to hold, okay? The customers back with you? No. It has to be an inspirational experience which will later bring the customer back to our platform, to what we're trying to sell them, or probably the product being sold and he wants to buy it again. So how do we actually make it inspirational? That can happen with the kind of CX that we offer in the market, right? The customer support that we manage to give them, the experience which makes more digitized, the experience which creates to turn them back to the product again and to reuse it. Now, what is leading to this entire CX experience for them? It's a digital transformation in the connected world, right? And we've already seen there are 6 billion connected people today. If we talk about 2006, what you see is a very familiar logo, right? Each one of us, and I'm pretty sure that not even a single person in the room who would not have an FB account at this moment. 2006, the revolution started when 2006 September, right? That was the time then Facebook started and it changed the entire life for us. The way we are looking at social media platforms. In the same time, in 2007, Google took over YouTube and we got one of the most entertaining platforms and they started coming to our phone. Initially, people were looking at it on desktops, but it could make its way in no time to our phones. Later on, Mr. Steve Jobs, in 2007 itself, introduced to us with an iconic device, which was an iPhone. And today you see, there are about 6.6 billion iPhones on this earth, okay? I think 50% of them would be carrying here itself in this room. And then now, later, what comes was WhatsApp. We all know about it, and each one of us have it on our phone. There are 100 billion messages being exchanged every day on a WhatsApp, okay? This is a fantastic data to have, and all of you can make a note of it, because these are the talking points in the market today. Now, how is the growth of this messaging and chat apps happening, especially WhatsApp being the center point here, right? 67% people are checking their phones every 5 minutes. 67%. If we talk about it here also, okay, in last 5 minutes, most of you have checked your phone at least once. There are 90% of the people by 2023, okay, will have at least one messaging app on their phone, one. 70% of them will lead to their conversations with any of the customer service engagement, okay, 70% of them by 2023. And that will go through a chatbot. That is how we are looking at the future. Now, what is driving this transformation? Anybody, I'm just asking this question. What exactly, okay, is the precipitate which is driving this entire transformation? Anybody can answer that here? Any thought in your mind? Okay. People, we are the ones who are driving it. The thirst, the need that we have, okay, to have it more. We are the ones who are looking forward to rise these mobile messaging conversations, okay, get into new avenues to understand, okay, how are we supposed to drive it further. Every time, every person is asking for something new which will be a part of the digitization journey for every organization who's been serving it for their kind of products and services that they're offering in the market, okay. We also see people who started preferring to chat more, okay, than to talk more. Why do you think the voice services, which are making good enough revenue share in the market, okay, but the chat apps have come up. There are 64%, okay, who are unlikely to download an app, okay, for any of the purchase that they want to do. And I'll give you an example for that matter. Let's say if you decide to buy a Nike shoe, will you actually download a Nike app? You will not. You'll go to a common app, which is like an Amazon or a Flipkart for that matter, and purchase it from there. So the behavior of a consumer is changing. The mindset is changing completely. You don't want to get into specifics, but you want the digitization to happen at a common floor, right? And everything to come together. 59% of the global people choose messaging instead of email. Now we all understand the hassle of the email at the end of the day. It is important. As a part of the omni-channel, email is one of the communication platform which is necessary, which is needed once we don't see messages, be it on the chat app or be it on any of the SMS platform that you use. While I say any of the, because there's a normal SMS and there's RCS. Hence I said that. There are 53% people, okay, who will prefer to chat than getting on any call for any kind of a customer support that they're looking at. And I mean, obviously, 90% people say they would rather message on a business to receive a phone call. A very simple thing, you book a flight and you've got about 8 or 9 messages, okay, talking about how you're supposed to board the flight, what are the COVID-19 rules and regulations today at the airport. Would you receive 9 phone calls and not getting irritated because of that? But you read the message, keeps you in a very personalized space. Okay. Now, how WhatsApp is driving this entire engagement? The reach, engagement, and connection is really important. There are 2 billion active monthly users in about 180 countries with 100 million messages a day. That's what WhatsApp is for, okay? They've got into nerves, and they are amazing because they're keeping us connected. The engagement, if you talk about the 70% WhatsApp users, okay, they're checking their WhatsApp message every day, okay? Arzan is here. Arzan, thank you so much, okay? 175 million people, okay, on a WhatsApp business account. Now, what we're talking about is a business account. Most of you, if you book an airline ticket, very simple example, being received on your WhatsApp and you give an okay for it, right? I mean, you opt for it. So that's how it is, 175 million people. Moving forward, delivering a seamless customer experience, that is something which is important. Any customer engagement, it would start, it will get the engagement into a loop. It's a kind of loop when you start it. You will move to a customer engagement, you will try and sell a product to a customer. The moment the product is being sold, what comes into the picture is the customer support. And if the support is great, it will again move your customer to have a retention and come back and buy the same thing once again. So it's a loop at the end of the day. And chat app like a WhatsApp, okay, which has been part of our life, is actually putting us into that loop, which is a great one to have. People, obviously, I mean, they will continue to do that, and they'll continue to do the messaging. However, WhatsApp is the #1 app globally. I mean, you could see at least 60% of the global thing being green. I think, Arzan, correct me if I'm wrong, in a couple of years, we'll see the entire green map there, right? Now I'll talk about Infobip. I represent Infobip. I'm a regional business head for the Western business. We have 700 plus global MNO connects, MNO mobile number operator connects across the globe. We have 24 billion messaging which are happening every day. There are 3,500 employees with 4 new acquisitions and the 5th one coming on chart. You all will see it on a LinkedIn very soon. The founding principle of Silvio Kutic, okay, who started this company back in 2006, is innovation, integrity, impact, and trust. That's we manage. We stress upon trust, and why is something that you can find out when you reach out to the booth there of Infobip. You will understand what is the integrity, okay, and how we operate in the market when it comes to messaging. These are the certain customers. I mean, I'll put up the brand names here, and you can see they are from various industries. We're talking about finance, and these are global customers. We are working with them currently. We have retail and e-commerce. These are just few of them for you to see those brand names. We have customers coming from technology, communication. We have customers coming from healthcare, for that matter. Transport, logistics. I'm not currently getting into use cases, but just to let you know, any industry, we have a use case and we can talk about it, okay? Creating a seamless conversation for you, reaching out to your customer, making the engagement very, very easy, okay? And then post-delivery, managing it with our customer support. That's definitely there on our charts. We get results to people, okay? And results which are globally giving statistics and figures to us, which are talking about 82% have increased the customer satisfaction for their customers. I'm talking about those enterprises who are working with them. There are 10,000 enterprises and counting. We are working with Infobip globally. 78% increased their productivity. That's what when they spoke, when they gave us the results. 50% of the reduction in the cost. Now, when I'm talking about the cost, if you have a material cost, I can't reduce that. But when you're talking about a cost which is pertaining to digital when it comes to your customer engagement, we'll be able to help you out. There are 80% which has, there are 80%, okay, where the click rate has been increased. Now, there are a lot of applications, right, and you need to open it. How do you open the click rate? that can be done with the help of marketing automation. We're the ones who are helping people to do that. 115% increase in the revenue from where they were. I mean, that's what we bring on table. Just that the distances you have to reach out to, that corner where the Infobip is put up, and my team will help you out. I'll just play up a video, and Team AV, can you just put up the video quickly? Thank you so much for that. And let me invite Ms. Gayatri Nathan, Senior Vice President, Tata AI. Give it up for Gayatri, guys. Welcome, Gayatri. Please have a seat. Yeah.
Check. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be more lenient with our applause and let's welcome them. And over the next course of few minutes, please look at the timer. We've set it for you. But let's continue because we're really tight on time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gayatri, for making it today. And we'll stick to the questions and move forward. We all understand what finance industry was going through and how the boom is again expected. Okay. How do you see post the COVID crisis and what is the industry turning up to?
Sure. So, good afternoon, everyone, and I'll stick to the time that you've given us. Very quickly, I think financial services, I represent life insurance. I work with Tata AI Life Insurance. I think insurance gained a lot of prominence in the last 2 years. Thanks to the pandemic, people have started valuing their lives more and have started thinking about what insurance policy they hold, how much is the cover they hold, etc. So if you ask me, I think it's moved from being in the subconscious mind to the front chamber, and be it life, health, protection per se has become more important in consumer minds.
Right. But when it comes to behavior, I believe we've got two types of customers. The newer ones which are acquiring, okay, which happens every month, day on day, and the ones which are currently there, and they probably come back again. What kind of a behavioral change that you've seen?
So one thing that has definitely happened thanks to pandemic is people have become, in terms of behavior, they value a face-to-face interaction, but thanks to social distancing, I think people have also embraced contact centers, writing emails, or depending on self-service channels a lot more. They started spending time in reading stuff that we send them. Even a senior citizen who would earlier be uncomfortable to contact a call center is now investing time to speak to agents, to clarify complex queries. And they've also been very patient with our service staff operating from home with background noise and all of that. I think there's been a shift in terms of becoming more patient with manufacturers to get their queries responded.
Right.
So,
Gayatri, silently you spoke about the entire experience of omni-channel, which you also want people to operate with, okay? Because unless and until they will respond, they will try and use these channels, okay? A brand like Tata AI would not be able to respond that back, okay? How do you see the role of insurance, okay, in the entire world of digitization, okay? And what kind of adoptions that you are planning and probably doing it right now, which is helping people?
See, I think a couple of things that we've done over time and that happened to us before pandemic itself is we moved to channels like WhatsApp. We already have a very good customer MyDigi account that was active. And we yet don't have an app. We plan to get an app as well. But what we saw is WhatsApp has been a really good channel for consumers to move on to. That was existing even pre-COVID. Post-COVID, it's become even more easier to get customers to move on. Okay. The other thing that we saw is people like to just simply chat. So our menu options on WhatsApp kept increasing, what do people come to us for? They come for policy documents to validate what kind of insurance policy they hold. They come for premium certificates for filing taxation returns. They come for advice to saying, is this the right plan? Do I need more? Is this a policy I should continue? So on and so forth. For all of that, if you ask me, a little bit of self-work and having digital spaces to cater to that requirement helps. So for us, what's been really helpful is our Digi account, my Digi account, the customer portal, WhatsApp, and we've also introduced things like bots. So that helped us with scale to make calls to customers who sound like humans, they're like humanoids. And consumers get information that they need quite promptly and in a short time frame. So I think digital has helped us scale up to reach all consumers. Otherwise, by assumptions, typically, this is what we say, a banking consumer probably thinks of a bank at least 5 to 6 times in a year. Insurance, it's once in 2 years. I think with digital gaining prominence, that's now become at least once a year. So that's been quite useful to us.
Absolutely. Very, very well said. Just to tell you, I'm one of the customers for Tata AI. Okay.
And hope you're a happy one.
Very happy, very happy. I was discussing the same with a few of your team members outside. Barring the confidentiality, Gayatri, if you can tell us, what are those future steps, okay, that you are planning in coming 3 years, okay, in form of digitization, in form of changes that you would like to bring into your organization, okay, which will in turn help you serve the customer. Okay? If you can just guide us on that.
Yeah, so this is a very good question and we keep thinking about it, and every quarter I think we add and strengthen our thought process on this. Talking about digital, I think of course digital is very important and the way forward. We have 85-86% of our transactions happening digitally. Only for 15% we depend on our contact center and branches. Secondly, from the perspective of how WhatsApp has helped us, that's literally 20-25% of our digital space currently. So that's the kind of penetration we've seen. So what's the way forward? Like we also saw in your AV, I think consumers are on the channel of WhatsApp the most today. Sometimes interchangeably, they even chat, even on an email when they're writing. It's gone that people write long emails. They write short one-liner, two-liners as though they are chatting. So really the future is how can you make consumer servicing very easy from an access point of view. And that's where I see the way forward, which is, can it be omni-channel servicing in the true way, where there is a balance between digital and human touch, especially insurance, I think comes in with a lot of this. Trust is a very important factor there, and hence I cannot take away the human touch there. So how can it be seamless for a consumer where he or she begins to interact with us via WhatsApp, jumps on to do a quick conversation for complex query resolution, and at the same time gets quick responses as and when he or she needs. That's what I see as the future role. And one small point I really see over time, contact center, becoming obsolete. It will be more video-based servicing. And that's where I think the future and the investment will lie.
Fantastic, Gayatri. That gives us a lot of understanding how things are going to shape up there. And being biased, okay, I really need to know, how is Infobip shaping up and helping you at this point of time? My team is putting their blood and sweat to ensure things would happen and go right at the first place when it comes to Tata AI. So, if you could just give us a 30-second brief about how it has been going for Infobip. There are a lot of people who've been involved and working together.
Absolutely. And in fact, I have some of my team members here who've done a great job of finding you and partnering with you. Anirban is here. So I think we've had a very good partnership with Infobip, and we've got a lot of help from you in understanding how Facebook operates, WhatsApp operates, there are a lot of technicalities, and you've simplified that for us. And like I explained, 20% of our transactions happen via WhatsApp. And I see a lot of more, intelligence and new insights coming from Infobip. So I see a lot of value coming there, and things integrating into our future plans based on insights that you share. So I'd really say good job, and thank you for all the help you've been providing us.
Thank you so much, Gayatri. I mean, that gives us a lot of boost, my team members too, and that gives us an understanding how we're supposed to keep up the good work within this industry, a clean and a sustainable business. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks for joining us on this Fireside chat. Okay, pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Ladies
Give it up
and
for Gayatri
gentlemen,
once again.
a huge round of applause for both of them. Come on.